Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm going to bring you along on another pickling adventure. This one's going to be a little different. As you can see, I've got my pickles in. I'm going to wash these again, even though I washed them when I brought them in the garden. These are probably the last I'm going to get out of my garden. As you can see, they're kind of looking a little deformed. We've had over a week of rain. Every day we've had rain. Today is the first day it has not rained. Glad to see the sun come out. But what we're going, so I figured I need to try to use these up, though I didn't want them going to waste. Anyway, what we're going to attempt to be doing is cinnamon pickles, or they could be known as Christmas pickles, either way. And just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to try a couple of my lemon cucumbers in it, just because I had some large ones. I don't know how well they're going to do, but we're going to find out. So let me get these washed, and I'll bring you back for the next step. Alright, I haven't peeled all of them yet. I was just going to film these right quick. You're going to peel your cucumbers, and you're going to cut off at least a 1/4 inch of each end, especially the blossom end, because there's an enzyme in there, in that area, that will make your pickles mushy, or they won't firm up as well if you leave it on there. Plus, I just don't think they look attractive. So off those come, and then we're going to slice these in half like so. Careful with the fingers. And then we're going to take a spoon. I forgot to tie my hair back. I'll have to go do that in a little bit. This kind of gets a little messy, but hopefully can you see the plate? Yeah, okay. I usually just take a spoon and scoop the seeds out, and I'm sorry if you hear the little clickety clack of toenails on the kitchen floor back here, but my kitchen crew, the dogs, whenever we break out cucumbers, they're not far behind. I have strange dogs that really love cucumbers. I have to watch it when I bring the basket in from the garden, because they will help themselves to green beans and cucumbers out of the basket. They love them. So, anyway, you want to get all these seeds scraped out, and I found the spoon is really the best way to do it. I'm trying to be really careful, because this is one of the lemon cucumbers, and it's a little thinner than the other ones. So all that out of there, all that mushy stuff. So good enough. Okay, I'll do one of these for you so you can see. Start at this end since it's better. There we go. That one came out pretty good. Little bit of work there, but okay. So you want your cucumbers to look like that. And then we're going to slice the cucumbers lengthwise. And we're going to cut them to fit in the jars. And I didn't grab a jar, but these are going to go, our half-pint jars. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of do this, so we know. Okay. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll find out. So this one probably the same. So we'll use that for pieces, and let's just kind of cut these up like so. And I'm going to drop them over in my kettle here. That one's still a little thick, but you're alright. Some will be thicker than others. Cut you again. There we go. So, I've never done this recipe before, so I'm just kind of winging it. I got the recipe off of Taste of Southern, and I'll put a link below for it. Some of these are probably going to be a little thicker than others, but it's okay. It'll all work out the same, I guess. So, okay, you got pieces. So, anyway, I'm going to finish getting these peeled and de-seeded and chopped up, and then I'll bring you back for the next step. Alright, that was almost 6 pounds, not quite, but almost. And the recipe calls for 6 to 8 pounds of large cucumbers. I didn't really think I would have that much until I put them on the scale and weighed them. And as you can tell, they weren't large cucumbers at all. Since I'm making do with trying to use up what came out of my garden. Our next step is I've got 8 quarts of water in this pot, and I just took a quart jar and measured out 8 quarts of cold water. Let me specify that. Now we're going to add our pickling lime, and I'm going to warn, and you can make sure you either use a glass bowl or a stainless steel pot or one of these enamel covered pots, but do not use aluminum, because the lime will pitch your aluminum, and plus your pickles will come out tasting tinny, metally. So be careful when you are adding this, because you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, that little puff of smoke coming up. You do not want to inhale that, folks. Trust me. I discovered that the hard way when I was pulling this out to check and see how much pickling lime I had. And I didn't realize the bag was open. I had come unsealed, and a little puff of smoke came out just as I was breathing in as I pulled it down, and yeah, I inhaled it. I coughed for over an hour. So do not inhale this stuff. So be careful. Wear a mask or stand back or something. Just be very careful. So I'm going to stir this in now. And kind of get it mixed in. And it's not going to mix all together. It'll probably settle on the bottom a good bit. But as soon as it quits smoking over there, I think that's a reflection of the light. I think it's done smoking. Yeah. It's safe to breathe again over there. I can't hold my breath that long, especially while trying to talk to the camera. Got that mixed in. Move these out of the way. Can y'all see that? Yeah. So it's got, excuse me, kind of a milky white color. A little bit on the sides there. And you really don't want to get this on your skin either, so be careful when handling it. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of very cautiously drop my cucumbers down in there. If you do get some on you, just make sure you wash very carefully. And I can get this to where I can just dump them all in there without losing any. Splattering everywhere. Let's see if we can get this. Let's see that. Okay, there they are. What this is going to do, this is going to sit for 24 hours. So, let me see what time it is. It is exactly 6 p.m. So, tomorrow evening, I'm going to start the next step on these. And I don't know if I said at the beginning or not, I can't remember, but this is going to be a 5-day process. So I'm just going to call this part 1, and we'll be back tomorrow with the next step of this. Hi again, YouTube. We're back on day 2 of cinnamon pickles, or I should say part 2. It is 5:02. I'm going to cut this an hour short. I don't think an hour is going to make a hill of beans difference on this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to strain the pickling lime water out into this dish pan. I'm on a septic system, and I don't know about pouring pickling lime down the drain. And I think I forgot to show y'all what I was using. I just picked this up at Walmart. I've actually had it since last year, but I forgot to show it and wanted to get that on camera. Sorry, I had to pause that and go let the dog in. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to drain this off into this tub, and since I'm on a septic system, I'm going to haul this out to the back part of my property. And I'm probably going to have to do this in stages, I think, maybe. Or not. Go. All that lime stuck on there. Ugh. And you notice I have gloves on because I did not want to take any chances in handling that. I'm going to have to rinse that out outside too. So anyway, right now I'm going to put these off to the side, and I'm going to run out and dump this right quick. So we'll be back. Alright, got that dumped out, and I've started kind of to rinse these off a little bit. I still got to go dump another tub out. But I'm going to move these over here into the sink, and I can already tell how much firmer they are from being in that lime overnight, almost 24 hours. But I'm going to give these a good rinse, and kind of swish these around a little bit. And you got to be careful about them breaking, because they are extra crispy at this point, I think. So be really, really careful with this. I'm going to just turn some more water on. Whoops. There we go. Just try to be really careful. I don't want to get that sludgy stuff down in there. Yeah, I've got that leftover crud in there. So we're going to get these rinsed off really, really good. I'm going to rinse them a few times. Just kind of swirl them around in here, and then I'm going to drain the water. And I cleaned out the sink really good. I washed it, and then I went over it with a Clorox wipe, and I let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then I wiped it down again. And I did not mean to pull the plug completely out, but let's see how that's going to go. This is gonna take a little while, but once we get these rinsed really good, several times, I'm gonna just keep doing this several times. Then they're gonna sit in the sink. I'm gonna fill it up with cold water again, and they're gonna sit in here for about 4 hours. I'm gonna put ice in with them to keep them good and chilled. And I'm just going to soak in here, and I'll come back and show you a picture of them soaking with the ice. There won't be much really to say to that, but this is going to take a little bit of time because you want to make sure you really get these rinsed so well. So I'll be back when we're packed it down for ice. I've discovered, really read your recipe carefully. I thought I had read through this several times, but apparently I didn't pay attention to the prep time for day 2 because I'm going to be up pretty late tonight. Because, like I said, this has to sit for 4 hours in ice water. And then we're going to start a brine, and we're going to cook these on a simmer them for 2 hours. So it's going to be a late night tonight. So, and I'm an early riser. I have to be at work at 7. We'll be back. Alright, there you go. I swished these around. I'm going to try to move you in a little closer. I guess I can turn on some light there for you too. There we go. Now we can see. Swish these around. I did probably 5 times. And now they're in for their 4-hour soak. So I guess it'll be about 9 something before I even begin to cooking. But there you go. We'll be back. I'm going to finish cleaning up the lime. We're about ready for the next step. I'm going to take 1 cup of vinegar, put it in the kettle, and it calls for 1 tablespoon of alum. You can find this in your spice section of your store. Of course, right now in the South, apparently it's very evident that it's pickling season, because I had to go to 2 different Walmarts to find this. So, it's a little clumpy. I'm trying to make sure I get a nice even clumps up a bit. So, that's pretty bad. A big clump in there. Oh well, close enough. So I'm going to dump that in, and I'm going to put this over here on the back burner. Kind of try to mix this in and let it heat up a little bit. And then I'm going to add my drained cucumbers and enough water to cover them, and I'm going to simmer these for 2 hours. I'm not going to keep bringing you back to watch that. I'll come in here and show you one picture of how they look in there once they get to simmering. But yeah, that's too long. Do not let these boil. I'm going to come in here and stir them occasionally. But that's where we're at now. So we'll be back. Okay, there we go. I added just enough water to cover the cucumbers. I may need to add just a tad bit more. But here we're going to start our simmering process for 2 hours. Getting down to probably about the last 45 minutes or so of the cucumbers simmering. So I thought I'd go ahead and start the brine. What you're looking at here, 10 cups of sugar. Yeah, that's a lot of sugar. I've also put in 1 teaspoon of salt in all this. I'm going to add 3 cups of vinegar, 3 cups of water, and a bag of Red Hots, cinnamon candies. So get this mixed together and on the stove, and we'll be back. Alright, got this on the stove top. Got the cinnamon candies out. Nice kind of pinkish red color. We're going to stir this continuously. Bring it to a low boil. We're going to make sure all the sugar's already dissolved, but we're going to make sure all these little candies get dissolved too. Once we have this at a low boil, what does it say we're going to do? We're going to drain the cucumbers off once they're finished simmering and add these and let them soak overnight. I should say they're going to soak for, well, until I get home from work tomorrow. So, anyway, we'll be back when we are ready to add the cucumbers. Alright, this took a little bit, but we finally got this to a nice low boil. And the candies are all dissolved. I mean, you got to stir this. This took a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut the simmering off on the cucumbers over here. And I am happy with this. I'm going to cut the heat off on this. And I'll get some hot holders to move this off the heat, because we do not want it to stand on that burner. Alright, we go drain these. And I guess I could show you right quick what those look like if you can see through all the steam. Can you see that? Let's see. Whoops. Scooting it back just barely. And yep, there's my timer. done with that. But yep, nice simmered cucumbers. Fogging up my glasses. One more piece. Okay. Alright, got the cucumbers drained out. And I washed that pot real quick. And now I'm going to pour this hot brine over these cucumbers. Oh, not too bad. I only have a tiny little bit, maybe one candy down there that didn't, oh, that's hot as it splashes up on me. Alright. Get those down in there. Mixed in. Okay. Check my directions. Okay, it says let stand overnight. Well, these are going to stand for till tomorrow evening. So I'm going to move them in a safe place where the dogs can't get to them. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me get the camera down in there. I'm going to get a better picture of that. Nope, let's get it over here in the light. If I can move it over in the light. So that's a little bit better. Maybe. I'll have to see when I edit this. But we'll be back for day 3, or part 3, on cinnamon cucumbers tomorrow. Cinnamon pickles, I should say. Thanks. Welcome back for day 3. Cinnamon pickles. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but these have been soaking for, well, not quite 24 hours, but close enough, because I'm not going to stay up till 11 o'clock tonight to do this part, so we're going to move it up a little bit. I'm going to strain this brine off. Like it's kind of thick. It's more pink than red. I was hoping for a little more red coloring. Let's see. Dump this right quick in my pot, and then we're going to drain it some more, but I didn't want it sitting down in there. Yeah, it's almost like syrup. Okay, get these all drained out. One more. Here we go. And actually, it'll probably be just as easy. Needed to dump it in a pot, but I'm going to dump it back in this one and just reheat it in this pot, and re-add the cucumbers to it. Alright, there's that. Make that simple. Put that there. Carry this over here and let these sit over here and drain in this other pot while I'm going to try to squeeze out all the brine I can out of this. Turn it up to a medium heat. We're going to bring this up to a low boil. We're going to cook it for 1 minute at a low boil, and then we're going to add the cucumbers back in. We're going to let them sit again until tomorrow. And that's all there is to this step today. And we'll repeat this process tomorrow. So we'll be back on day 4. We're back on day 4. I've already drained the pickles again. I guess you can technically call them pickles. They're almost pickles. Tomorrow we'll be canning these. I've got the brine in the pot again. heating it up. I'm going to bring it to a low boil. Then I'm going to put the pickles back in here and let them soak overnight. So let me bring it over here to kind of see if you can see through the steam or not. But I'm going to bring that up to a low boil, like I said, and let it boil for 1 minute. And then I'll put the pickles back in. So we will be back tomorrow. Good morning. Day 5. We are going to be ready to can today. I'm going to drain these off again. Into here. Whoops, I don't have my. It's not very good. There we go. I hate to lose them. Oops, sorry, I'm kind of blocking the view there, aren't I? And I gotta tell y'all, this syrup, really, really sticky. Really sticky. And it seems to get everywhere. Okay, get these drained real good. I've got my canner out on my camp stove, full of water. Let this drain just a little bit so we make sure we get all the brine, and then we're going to start heating up the brine again once these drain off pretty good. And then we're going to start. I've got my jars washing. You can probably hear the washer going here in the background. I'm going to sanitize my other equipment once my other kettle of water is boiling. I'm going to start canning these things. So we will be back. Just wanted y'all to see what a low boil looks like, because I've had to do this for the last couple of days. I'm going to stir it a little bit, but you can kind of see I've got it for 1 minute. That's, you know, it's boiling a little bit in there. You don't want it rolling boil like you do on your canner. Just a nice little simmering boil. You know it's good and hot. And we're just about ready to start canning this stuff. Let me start. I've already started the timer. We're down to 14 seconds. So I'm going to get y'all set up, and I guess we're going to have some guitar accompaniment in the background today. Try this again without the interruptions. So I'm doing I'll probably put the pint that I did on there too. But we're going to do a half pint this time. Start packing them in. Kind of helps to lean the jar over a little bit, so you can get them all in there nice and tight. That'll be all right. See, tender. That one's too small. Save it for another jar. Try to get the long ones done first. Yeah, he'll be all right. Exactly that one's good and thin. I'm going to fit in there. Nice short piece. Take these little pieces and try to put them on top. Put them in here. That broke off, because once you pull these out of that pickling line the first night, you'll notice a big difference in how they feel. They're real crisp and brittle. So you can break them off easily. So we're going to get this up to a 1/4 inch headspace. More little pieces in here can fit. There's a little one. Kind of lay them on top. A lot of little broken pieces. 1/4 inch headspace, as I said. Put you on top. Rinse off the sticky. Start filling this up with some brine. Trying to get all the brine in the jar and not all over the counter and a towel. Well, I got towels down, so. More. Bubble. Found out my regular debubble with packing these things in here like that really didn't want to fit in there, so I got a bamboo skewer out, and that works just as well. Good enough on the rim. Wipe it really well. Lid out. The ring, and jar is hot. Finger tight. And we're going to go out to the canner. Let me hold this up so you can kind of, if you can see that or not. Let's see. Get my elbow out of the way. See where we are. And hopefully that'll focus in. But kind of hard to see them in there with the red, but they look pretty and hopefully they'll taste good. We'll be back when we have them all in the canner. There we are in the canner. Got up to a nice rolling boil here. So I am going to start the timer. As you can see, I got 5 half pints and 3 wide mouth pints. We'll be back when these are done. Here we are, our finished product of cinnamon pickles. Got 3 pints, wide mouth pints, and 5 half pints. I'm going to let these sit for a couple of weeks before we even crack a jar open, because I really want them to soak that brine up. I've still got to wash my jars. I haven't done that yet, but let me see if I can get you in close. I don't know how well that'll show up on camera. They got a pretty color to them. And if these taste good, I'll probably give some away for Christmas presents. And if they taste good and I decide to make these again, because this was a bit of a project to do these, I will try to use actual pickling cucumbers next time. I used straight 8s and lemon cucumbers. You can use those for pickling, but they're not an actual pickling cucumber. They have specific varieties that are better for using for pickling. Straight 8s and lemons are more for slicing and adding to salads and such, and just eating straight. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. I hated the cucumbers to go to waste. I had them, so I used them. I appreciate you coming along on this adventure with me. Thank you for watching. Happy canning. God bless.